Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Today I bring out a setup, play and review the game nimmt by Wolfgang Kramer and Reinhard Stupp. Now, this is a game for 2 to 4 players, 2 to 4 Hornochsens or bullheads, and it's in a series with nimmt, so you can see my video for this on the channel as well. Please check out my How to Set Up, Play and Review channel and playlist, and as well as the other playlists such as the AmassGames playlist, the Family Weight playlist, and these various other ones. Maybe there'll be a junior playlist coming along. So we've had Elf nimmt or 11 nimmt also on the channel. We've got nimmt Junior, 6 nimmt, and now we're having 10 nimmt as well as the board game version, all available as I had a setup, play and review, and those unboxing teaser trailer videos, such as for nimmt, so it allows you to know what's coming to the channel soon, and of course acts as that preview. So in this particular game, as we said before, it is a 2 to 4 player game, and as I mentioned on the other videos, there's a slight variation in what's going on in terms of family and luck and stuff like this. As you may recall, I did state that in terms of the family weight, it is right in the middle as per the original. Luck and strategy is more on the strategy side, as you will see, and in terms of quietness, yes, it's much more on the quieter side than other games, but that is how nimmt works. So this game is shorter than the original game as well. It's 25 minutes long, and just right now I will turn this around to make sure it's the right way of orientation when it's packed away, so open it up like correctly. So depending on the number of players, you're all going to be taking one of these cards. I will explain how these cards work later. For now, these can go back away. You're also going to be placing out these regardless of the amount of players that you have. So you place a 3, a 4 and a 5. This is similar to nimmt, whereby once you've placed, in this case, the third card, you're taking them. Now everybody's going to start off with 7 cards, so you're going to shuffle up your deck of cards and deal out 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're then going to place them out, and ultimately you're trying to get the best score possible. In this case, the best score would be the least negative points. So you can look through your cards, your 7 cards. You can choose to do them numerically if you wish. So whilst I am sorting this out numerically, please ensure you hit the notification bell to be informed of all new videos coming along. There have been daily videos the last 4 years. Also go through and hit that subscribe button, and via that notification bell you can also make sure you're latest up to date with competitions, which you can find via Linktree. They are constantly updated, so do check back as they are time sensitive. Please drop me notes and comments in YouTube, it's best, so everyone else can see that. And lastly, via Linktree, you can support the channel via Patreon, and go ahead through to Instagram, over 2,500 posts, and please do join the discussion on Facebook as well. So, I can choose to play out a card. Well, we have another nice low card here, so I think I'll go ahead and place this out. Before I do anything else, I need to consider what I want to do, and let's just consider one more thing before we go on. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to play out that 1. So they're going to play out a card. Let's just reveal a card and see what they have. So they're going to reveal an 83, and of course they're going to go, obviously after me, because you reveal at the same time, they're going to go in the same area. That might be because they've got a higher card, or they haven't got a higher card. So now we're going to reveal another card. So I don't know what they have, but I'm going to try and go down here. Obviously I do not want to play 98, because it's going to have to go here perhaps. We'll see. So I reveal 84. Well, they reveal 84, and they hadn't been shuffled. I reveal 31, so I place it down here. But this is a good example. So in this instance, I'll show what happens. Okay, so just reset that slightly. Yes, they do all start with a card each. So we're having a 75. We're going to chuck out a 73, and I did go halfway through the deck here. And we have 47. So everyone, we start off with that each initially, so apologies for that. They reveal this, I reveal this. Now I go lower than all of them, so I'll go first. So I've got to pick one of these piles. So when I pick one of these piles, I might choose to take the one with the least bullheads, so the least Hornochsens. I'll say from now on, I'll just take this one, a single card, and I'll show you why in a moment. It's the lowest value of the 3. I then place out the 31. They have 85, and it goes here. So now we go again. So now I've got these cards. I could go down here, so I have this ready. Let's just say they've got this card. So now they have the lowest card. So now they're going to take that card. That's going to go in their own pile, so this is going to be next to where they are, so probably facing the other direction, but for now we'll just place it here. They're placing that 31 over here. Now I've got my 56, it can go here. Again, we are not close enough to reach the 5th card, so let's just keep on going and I'll show you what will happen. So I've got 59, so that's nice and close. They've got 51. So let's just say it isn't a 51, let's say it's a higher value. So let's say it's a 74 or something like that. So I play out this, they play out this, and let's say the next card means I have to go here. If I have to go here, because it's higher than all these other values, otherwise it'd be the next smallest difference. So if it was higher than 74 but lower than 85, it's going to have to go here. So I'm going to go here, which means I must take these 2 cards. that goes here. One of these cards must go into my row, so it must go into my row down here. Now the thing that's going to happen is when I place one of these cards, the other card's going to go into my hand. Now in this instance, they're the same amount of horn oxen, but if I take this card, then I'm having to play quite a high card, which might not be too good. Equally, 75 is nice because we know we can slot it in here because I'm guaranteed not to go in, obviously, take the fourth card and set. So I'm going to take this card into my hand and place 85 down here. Now it's strategic because this will not score me any negative points at the end of the game. The end of the game happens when you run out of cards. So any cards you have left in your hand, obviously in a two-player game, it's going to be your opponent, and it's a 2-round game, then they're losing 1 point per horn oxen, so you can lose 2 points here. Any cards here will not lose any points, but if you need to take a card, let's say you take these 2 cards because you've broken that run, one of those cards will have to go here. As you can see, it is not higher than 85, which means you've broken the run, so one of those cards is going to come down here, and these 2 cards are going to go in your discard pile. So you'll pick these up and place them face down and score them at the end. But that pile there will score you double. So you're losing minus 1, 2, 3 times 2. You're losing minus 6 points plus any cards in your hand, so minus 8. So that's how the games work. So I'll give you a quick run through of that again. But I will tell you now that my score, I lost minus 25 points in that first game and that first round. And at least in the second, at least in a two-player game, I'll explain. But in the second game, I happened to, the opponent lost minus 26 points. They lost even more points than I did. So let me give you a run through one more time. So we're going to have these cards out. So we're going to have 3 cards out. So we're going to have this, we're going to have this, and we're going to have this. I'm going to pick a card. So I'm going to have 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're going to have 7 cards. I want to make sure I'm not picking up cards if I can avoid it. So I could choose to play down, I don't know, let's say quite a low value, like 38, which would work. And then they're going to play off of it as well. And yeah, let's say they've got 66, so they can go over here. I can play another card. Again, I want to avoid this. I don't know what they've got, but let's say I play 58. They play 61, which has to go here, which in this instance means they're taking 3 of these cards. These are going to go back. Now, the way it's going to work is, remember, they have to keep 2 of these cards, but 1 is going to go in their pile here. So I want to place the lowest value, typically, because then you're trying to incrementally add it. So you might want to bust something like this, or play a low value card and take these cards, because a 43 going here is better than a higher value card, or even 33 is even better, even though you're going to have cards in your hand. And it is going to be that you're not going to play out all 7 and the game or the rounds are going to end. You're going to constantly be drawing a few more cards, and of course eventually we'll be getting through all the cards. Now the fact that you're picking up a card is very interesting, because suddenly you're able to actually improve your hand possibly, and maybe even not lose any points here, which is a great way. But the trouble is, you're pushing your luck. As you place cards out here, if you bust, that is going to score you minus 6 because it's going to go over here. And you're going to have cards in your hand. So you want to kind of play out cards which have high amount of horn oxens in your hand to avoid that. As for the gameplay, as for my review, obviously the card quality, the components are great as per usual. But I will say that the strategy, there is a fair amount of strategy, because you are keeping an eye out on, do I want to play a higher value card? Do I want to just try and get through my cards as soon as I can? In one particular game, that game that went down to 1 single point, I chose to bust early on and have a low value card here, and then just play through all my low cards and hopefully to bust again and play them out. What happened though is my opponent also happened to have low value cards and was following a similar thing, and we're constantly out busting each other, which meant I play down a 3, but then they take it, so then I play down a 4 and take that instead, and that led to that 1 point difference. Now I have played at high player counts as well, such as a 4, and the scoring is again a bit more varied, and I think it works all player counts. So only playing with these cards, you're only needing a little bit of space for each of these 4 cards, obviously one per player, and that's the only difference. Nice idea. It is more strategic. I do like it. I think it's very good. If you wanted to play 6 nimmt instead, I don't think there's a real an issue. I think you might prefer the original if you want that kind of more variety. Obviously it can go on a bit longer, it does go on a bit longer, and it is a bit more loosey-goosey, the original, but that's what it is. This one, of course, you're thinking, well, I want to improve my hand, so it's very clever in that respect. So I look forward to playing this again. So yeah, slightly higher than average rating for me for this one. Loads more videos to be checking out, such as that Amigo Spiele playlist. And as you can see, there's little things just to be aware of, little technicalities. But as you can see, it does fly through. It's only a 2-round game. Naturally, a game, you can't predict how long it's going to be, because you're playing out cards and then having to redraw those cards as well. But yeah, fun to play. There are more videos in this sort of nimmt or nimmt series, and I look forward to bringing them. So again, make sure you check them out. But any other questions, as per usual, please let me know. And again, if you can, please make sure you share so other people can be aware of the content. So that's all for now. That has been nimmt by Amigo Spiele, ages 8+, a more strategic version of nimmt. Do you have any particular favourites so far? Please let me know as well. But for now, back to the table.